And we are unmuted.
It's 6:31. Can somebody pull one up? Please, can you pull a flag up? Please. Isn't there a flag in every room in our school? Well, not this one.
No,
Apparently.
apparently not.
Put it on the list.
No.
We could find this one. First, Levi or Karen. I'm done. Time. Karen's got it. All right, we all stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can stay standing for our land acknowledgement statement. Tonight, we're going to be reading the land acknowledgement statement that has been modified for the high school. So over the next several meetings, we will hear from each one of the various land acknowledgement statements that are rooted in the land acknowledgement statement that was adopted by the district last meeting. Salamanca High School acknowledges the homeland of the Onondaga, the people of the Great Hill, the Seneca people. Salamanca High School recognizes that we use their ancestral and modern day land and water. We acknowledge that Seneca children were removed from their homes and sent to boarding schools on and off territory. Boarding schools attempted to take their language and culture from them. We send love and acknowledgement to the survivors that reside in our community today. We acknowledge that 1/3 of Ohio territory was flooded by the construction of the Kinzua Dam. We recognize that Seneca families were forcibly removed from their homes and pushed into Salamanca City Central School District. We offer care and support for their children and grandchildren. We acknowledge that Salamanca and Salamanca School District exist through the goodwill of the Seneca Nation and legally through a lease lasting more than 100 years. Salamanca High School endorses the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and strive to surpass each of the articles. We wish to strongly state our commitment to teaching the history, culture, and language of the Onondaga. We work together toward understanding, acknowledgement, and ultimately reconciliation. Salamanca High School acknowledges and greatly values the diverse community members from all Indigenous nations, their spiritual and physical relationship to this land, their rights, their resilience, their sovereignty, and their heritage. We stand with all Indigenous peoples in their resolve to remain connected to this land. While we cannot undo what has been done, it is the goal of the Salamanca High School to make improvements that will benefit the next 7 generations of Indigenous students. Thank you.
Do you have any changes to the agenda?
We do. We have a couple since the last, or since it was first published. Most of these are just sort of some cleanup things. To the approval of the assistant superintendent appointment, we changed the salary in the spreadsheet portion of the agenda to be prorated so that it was clear. We revised the negotiation unit for Giannici and Shep as they were listed as SASA, but they are actually individual contracts, so that was changed. The salary for Richard Weinberg was revised. We decreased it to more accurately reflect his time and service. We added teacher assistant Megan Pedaccio to our list of approved for tonight. We added a long-term sub-virtual teacher, Christy Oakes, to that list as well. We cleaned up some his and her wording that was in the assistant superintendent contract, which did not change the substance, just some of the grammatical changes. And we changed the effective date from 8/31 to 8/30 when we created the teacher aid requests. So those are all of the changes since it was first published.
Okay, thank you. Then I need a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Motion.
Motion by Carrie,
Second.
second by Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 3 is on new business, to create and abolish positions that are listed below. So we need a motion to approve the abolishing and the creating of the positions.
Motion.
You got that? Sue? Second by Ed? Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item D is our contract for the NISA grant. So we need a motion to approve that grant, and it will run from 2021 through 2023.
Motion.
Motion by Brad,
Second.
second by Flip. Are there any questions on this grant? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item C is our contract for Cat Little Valley soccer merge. So we need a motion to approve the MOA for the soccer merge.
Second.
Motion by Sue, second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item 4 is our personnel consent agenda. Item 4D is our personnel consent agenda approval. So we need a motion to approve the personnel actions listed in the public content, section 4.
Motion.
Motion by Tad,
Second.
second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item C is our contract for our junior accountant. So we need a motion to approve the contract from August 24th, 2022 through June 30th of 2024 for Deb Collins. We need a motion to approve that contract. Motion by Flip,
Second.
second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item D is our contract for our assistant superintendent, and that is for from September 26th, 2022 through June 30th of 2025, with a salary of $140,000. So we need a motion to approve that contract.
Motion.
Motion by Brad, second by Sue. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item E is our introduction.
All right, terrific. So this pretty much wraps up a pretty extensive season that we've had for hiring. And I appreciate and just wanted to say thank you to the board for adding this. This was really our retreat day to set board goals, but as you can see, we had a relatively significant number of sort of late additions to the district. At this time, I am going to turn it over to Mrs. Berry, who is joining us via Zoom. I think there might be one or two folks that are online that you might want to introduce for us.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to first introduce Tim Schnaufer II to Seneca. We are so excited to appoint Tim to Seneca Intermediate as our new industrial arts STEAM teacher. Tim graduated from the State University of New York College of Environmental Science. Oh, there he is in his classroom. Environmental Science and Forestry with a bachelor's in conservation biology and is currently pursuing his master's in education. He enjoys working both professionally and as a hobby with a wide range of technology such as laser engravers and 3D printers. He was a former employee with CA Bosse's as a digital print technician before transitioning to Salamanca, where he's been an adult educator, Project Sammy instructor, esports coach, and most recently teacher assistant and summer school teacher. We are thrilled for the experiences he's going to bring to the students at Seneca and look forward to having him and his gecko and tree frog join us at Seneca this year. Welcome, Tim. I believe I also have Amber. We're also so happy to have Amber Colbert joining us this year as a special education teacher. She's coming to us from Bradford, where she worked at Beacon Light Behavioral Health. Throughout her time there, she collected various teaching certifications in general education, pre-K through 8, secondary biology, and general science, as well as special education. She brings with her a vast skill set and experiences with therapeutic behavioral interventions and trauma-informed care. We love her go-getter attitude, and she'll be an incredible asset to the special education programming at Seneca. Welcome aboard, Amber. I think that's it for Seneca. We're glad to have you both here.
Let's see. Thank you, Mrs. Berry. We also have Maggie Tingley here, who will be joining us as a keyboard specialist at the high school. I know that we are all, there she is. We are all very excited to have her. She will be filling in to the main office where she will have a variety of responsibilities. Thank you and welcome. I know Mr. Siebert was unable to be here to give you a proper introduction, but we are very excited to see you and welcome to the Salamanca family.
Thank you. Very excited.
That's just about everybody virtually. All right, so at this point in time, I am very excited to introduce Mrs. Giannici. She is coming to us from Pioneer Schools, where she has been an elementary principal for 10 years. She has a pretty extensive background, particularly in elementary education, which is really going to help us as we begin to focus a lot on our student performance and expectations, particularly in grades pre-K through 8. She went through a very lengthy and rigorous process to get here. There were 13 initial candidates that got narrowed down to a group of 6 that were interviewed. She was consistently the top flyer all the way through this process. And we finally had the opportunity as a board to meet her, where we at last week? Yeah. Right, last week. And we're very, very excited. I know you have some family members here. Would you like to introduce them?
This is my husband, Tony. This is my daughter, Kara Marie. I also have a 16-year-old daughter, Mia Giannici. She is at soccer tonight, and I have a 20-year-old daughter that attends Mercyhurst University.
All right. Thank you. So one thing I do want to acknowledge is, we made the decision last week. I talked with her that evening, and since then she has been in constant communication. So she will not be able to join us officially until the 26th, but she has been with us all day today on her own. She'll be with us tomorrow. She's also going to stay with us for the goal setting session tonight. So I just wanted to acknowledge that once again, we've managed to really do a good job of finding a hardworking, well-educated, and dedicated individual who will contribute significantly to the Salamanca warrior spirit here. So I'm very excited and really looking forward to working with them more closely.
Thank you.
Of course.
Glad to have you.
All right, I think that's everything.
Is that everything?
Yes. Yeah. That is everybody.
Okay, well, with that, then we need a motion to, we don't go in, we're just going into the retreat. We don't need an executive session for it, right? No.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
and that's what we will do.
Terrific. So why don't we take about a 3 or 4 minute break? We can introduce everybody once again to Mr. Giannici. We also have Mr. Finn, who is our Director of Talent Development. That's a fancy name for human resources. So I believe there's also some food that was wheeled in out in the office there. So if you didn't have a chance to grab some before, you can grab some now. So why don't we just take a